Beautiful string of 5 old colorful fishing villages on steep terraces of rugged Italian Riviera were only accessible by mule tracks and boats until recently.
And as a tour guide, I can't wait to show you the best things to do in Cinque Terre, Italy.
Now there are 3 ways to explore this UNESCO World Heritage Site. First is to hike the trails, second option is to use a ferry boat available every spring and summer, and the third option is to take a train. Starting from La Spezia, the first village is Riomaggiore. Its main street is a covered canal under which runs a creek which gave the village its name. Street runs down to the sea, where a small harbor is framed by a lovely pastel-painted houses and filled with brightly colored fishing boats. Colorful tower houses are linked to each other and rise on 3 or 4 floors.
All of them have a front and a back entrance at the upper floors to allow residents to escape in the event of an attack from the sea.
Side streets are made of stairs and stairways connecting vertical landscape with surrounding wine terraces. In the upper part of the village is a Gothic church from the 1300s, although today's appearance is from the late 1800s. 3-nave interior is dominated by the alternating black and white colors typical for the area. Church is decorated with various art pieces, including ancient carved panels and a marble pulpit dating to 1600s. Above the village rises a small castle from the 1200s, built for defensive purposes by the Republic of Genoa, who dominated the area for 700 years. During the French domination of Napoleon Bonaparte, the fortress was filled with earth and destined to be a cemetery. Today, it is used as a cultural center and offers a magnificent view. The only beach of Riomaggiore is a rocky pebble beach. It can be reached by the narrow concrete path between the rocks from the marina. People also use the rocks of the small port to jump into the water from and a place to relax and sunbathe.
Hiking trail that connects Riomaggiore to neighboring Manarola village is known as Via del Amore.
Start of the trail is at the Riomaggiore train station, but unfortunately it is closed due to a landslide and reopening is scheduled for July 2024. Next village is Manarola, built on a dark rock 70 meters above the sea. It has a tiny scenic harbor enclosed between 2 rocky spurs.
Here is a tiny square lined with picturesque multicolored houses rising above the sea.
Uphill from the harbor runs the main street made by covering the stream. From the main street, a series of narrow, stone-paved alleys rise uphill to the vertical landscape with houses and panoramic views. With little space inside the old village, there is a pedestrian tunnel that leads to a nearby train station. On the top of the village is a Gothic-style church from the 1300s. Its local sandstone facade bears a Gothic arch portal and a marble rose window. The interior is covered in Baroque style, and near the baptismal font there is an ancient marble measure to check the quantity of grains with a coat of arms of the Republic of Genoa. Opposite to the church stands a self-standing bell tower from where you can admire a great panorama. With little space available, Manarola waterfront is also too small for a real beach. Instead, the rocky area around the harbor is used as the main sunbathing and swimming spot of the village. But there are some spectacular viewpoints, like the area above the harbor, with a lovely park and a line of bars offering the best panoramic view of the village. Here is also a starting point of a hiking trail to the neighboring village of Corniglia, which takes about 2.5 hours. The village of Corniglia is different, as it's elevated 100 meters or 330 feet above the sea. As it is the only seaside village without direct access to the sea, it's also the least visited of the 5. On 3 sides, it's surrounded by terraces planted with vines. The smallest of the 5 villages has a long and rich agricultural tradition, yet it appears to be more refined than other villages with more architectural details.
The reason comes from the late Middle Ages, when the village was a residence of a noble Genovese family.
The most comfortable way to get to Corniglia is by train. From the train station, you have to go up the Lardarina, a long brick staircase with 33 ramps and 382 steps. Alternatively, there is a road with a shuttle bus. In the upper part of the village is a Gothic-style church from the 1300s. The facade is built with local grey stone and decorated with a Carrara marble rose window. The interior with 3 naves is decorated in a Baroque style. There is also a beautiful altarpiece made of 18 panels depicting the mysteries of faith. Hiking trail to the neighboring Vernazza village is one of the most popular ones and includes a hiking fee covered by the Cinque Terre card. It takes about an hour and a half and offers spectacular views. Vernazza is one of the most popular places of Cinque Terre, as it is also considered to be one of the most beautiful villages in Italy. Above the harbor rises a rocky ridge with a 15th century castle and a tower.
The origin of the village is ancient, as it has the only natural port of Cinque Terre.
The village developed along a now covered stream transformed into the main street. Steep and narrow paths lead down to the main road that ends with a small square located in front of the marina full of small fishermen's boats. The centerpiece of the village is the beautiful waterfront church dating back to the 12th century. Legend has it that in ancient times a small wooden box was found on the beach containing the bones of a finger of Santa Margherita's hand. A decision was made to build a church dedicated to the saint in another place in the area, but the relic disappeared and reappeared sometime later on the same beach as the first time.
People finally understood the message and built the church on the spot.
One of the landmarks of Vernazza is its castle tower that can be visited. The tower stands in the middle of the castle terrace and is the oldest part of the fortification. It was used as a lookout fortress to protect the village from pirates. To reach the tower, you must climb steep stairs, but you will be rewarded with great 360 views. The castle was built by the Republic of Genoa, who controlled Cinque Terre for about 700 years.
The castle is now used as a cultural center.
There are also 2 small beaches. First one can be found in the harbor next to the church. There you can take a swim and use nearby flat rocks for sunbathing. The harbor surrounding the small dark sandy beach allows the water to remain calm. There is also a slightly larger, stony and pebble beach on the east side of the village, but it is accessible through a small cave that was closed at the time of my visit. As the village is in the heart of Cinque Terre, it's also the perfect starting point for hikes with beautiful views. The hike between Vernazza and Monterosso will take about an hour and a half and includes a hiking fee, so you should buy the Cinque Terre card. Monterosso is the last and the largest of the 5 villages. It's also easily accessible by car. This is the only flat village, great for those who don't want to climb a lot of stairs.
In the middle of the village is a hill with a convent and a church that divides the old and the new part of Monterosso.
Old part of the village was built along the banks of now covered stream and remained virtually intact with typical narrow medieval streets and multicolored houses. There you'll find the main square and a Gothic-style church from the 1200s with beautiful rose marble window. The interior holds a painting of the Madonna del Rosario and a fresco depicting the baptism of Christ. The bell tower was originally a medieval watchtower, part of the fortifications built by the Republic of Genoa. Right next to the church is an interesting oratory, a small chapel built in a similar style and intended for private worship. On the hill, separating the 2 parts of the village, is the convent of the Capuchin friars. Beautiful panoramic paths climb the hill, meeting at the statue of St. Francis, one of the most photographed landmarks of the Cinque Terre. You should take a quick look inside a small church of St. Francis, decorated with beautiful works of art. Also, don't miss the walk around the cemetery, located in the old castle on the very top of the hill, as it offers spectacular views. The second part of the village, known as the Fegina, is a modern residential neighborhood along the sea promenade with sandy beaches. There you'll find plenty of restaurants, pubs, ice cream shops and a wide range of hotels. Right in front of the train station is a traditional sandy beach, the largest beach of the Cinque Terre. You can either choose to pay for an umbrella and a chair or settle with your own towel in a free area at the end of the beach under the statue of the giant. The sculpture in reinforced concrete and iron from 1910 represents a Neptune. It was made to adorn a large terrace of a villa built by 2 villagers who returned from Argentina after making a fortune.
Monterosso has a long tradition of the cultivation of lemons, and every May the village hosts a famous lemon festival.
Lemons are a key ingredient in many local specialties like anchovies marinated in lemon juice, a lemon liqueur, lemon marmalade, lemon ice cream and cakes. The hiking trail to Vernazza starts from the eastern part of the old town near Hotel Porto Rocca and offers a wonderful views. The trail takes about 1.5 hours and includes a hiking fee covered by the Cinque Terre card.
There is much more to experience in Cinque Terre, so be sure to check the description below where you can find my favorite tours and experiences. My name is Rock, thanks for the thumbs up and for watching, and see you next time.